So today we are taking a look at a watch, actually two watches from Whitby Watch Co. and their new Ad Mare Dive lineup of watches. Just out for a little stroll by the Lake Ontario today to get some clips for the video and maybe some Instagram posts of the watches too. So I thought I would bring you along. We start the video here and ooh, a lot of ducks. Whole lot of ducks. Seriously though, this is the most ducks I've ever seen in one place, I think, in my life. So yeah, here to get some video of the watches. Brought the drone along too, so maybe I'll pop that up in the air and then we'll take this back to the studio and check out the watches. And we are back. Hopefully you enjoyed those couple of clips nearby where I live. That's a local marina. It's a little bit more interesting in the summertime when the boats are out, but hey, so here is a couple of heavy-duty Thule divers from Whitby Watch Co. The name of the watches come from the Canadian national motto Ad Mare Ad Mare, which is Latin for from sea to sea. There is a total of 4 models available that keep to that sea-to-sea theme, with a black version called the Pacific. There's the blue I have here on my left. That's the Atlantic. There's 2 white versions of the watch. There's the Arctic and then the Arctic Winter, which I have on my right. The Arctic Winter is a little different than the others, and you might already pick up on that, but we'll get to that here soon. Now, Whitby Watch Co. has generously gifted one of these to the channel for an upcoming giveaway, so keep an eye out for that. And actually, maybe let me know which you prefer of the 2 in the comments below. I'm going to be giving away one of these as well as probably at least one other watch. So big thanks to Whitby Watch Co. for that. Now, I'll kind of alternate between the 2 versions of the watch I have here today, but we'll start with the Arctic Winter. The dial on these watches has a different take on the wave dial, combining curved and angled lines, which is meant to represent the Canadian landscape. Looks really nice. Clean dial layout overall, with the steel Whitby logo up near the 12 o'clock position and 200 meter printed near the bottom of the wave portion of the dial. On the Arctic Winter, we have a white rehaut with orange markers matching the second hand, and on the blue, a lighter blue rehaut. One bit of a difference between the white versions and the others is the second hand. The Arctic models, first of all, have loom for one, which is a positive, and the black and blue models have that crescent-shaped counterbalance. All 4 models of the watch have the date at 3 o'clock framed in stainless steel, and the markers are applied and are well sized for legibility. The loom is where we find that difference between the Arctic Winter and the other 3. It has a fully loomed bezel, where the others have only loom on the triangular marker at the 12. Whichever you prefer, the loom is rock solid on both. I am on the more loom the better side of things usually, and I am in this case too, but both are really good when it comes to loom. The case on the watch is made with 316L stainless steel, and it has some heft to it. It is a fully brushed case with lots of kind of rugged looking lines and angles, giving it that Thule look. One thing to mention is the bracelet is secured to the watch with screw pins, and you could look at that as a negative or a positive, I guess, depending on if you plan to swap straps often or not. But if I was to say be putting this on a rubber strap, I would try to use that same screw pin and feed it through the rubber strap. I think if you used regular spring bars, you do stand the chance of maybe messing up the threads there, but something to keep in mind. The crown is a signed screw down crown. Feels great in hand to use from unscrewing, screwing it back in. Winding action is very good. And no problems getting a hold of the crown to set your date and time. The caseback has one of my favorite pieces of caseback artwork. It shows a polar bear representing the north, a puffin the east, and an orca the west. Underneath the caseback is the Sellita SW200, which is a 26 joule movement beating at 28,800 vibrations per hour and with a power reserve of approximately 38 hours. The bezel is a big standout with this watch. The blue has a glossy ceramic insert, the white a matte gray ceramic. The action on these is near perfection, at least for what I like in a bezel. I've tried both, and the action is pretty well identical on each of these two models, but this is what I look for in a bezel. It's easy to turn, but not too easy. No problems with grip at all. It feels great in hand and has a very satisfying sound too. We'll go around one more time so you can hear that a bit better. Yeah, so good. Really impressed with the bezel overall. The bracelet is a 3-link bracelet using push pins for sizing. It's a good bracelet, although I've seen similar on a few other brands. The clasp, I will say one bit of a negative, does touch against this last link, so you can see it does have a bit of a mark there. Well-made clasp, though, signed with the Whitby logo. We do only have 3 micro adjusts, but I did manage to get a good fit with it. Size on the watch comes in at a case width of 43.9 millimeters. The lug to lug is 50.8 millimeters, so it is a larger watch. Lug opening 22 millimeters, and the thickness is 13.7 millimeters. The crystal is sapphire and treated with an anti-reflective coating on the underside, and the water resistance is 200 meters. But Whitby tests these actually to 300 meters. One other thing to mention before I forget. Couple of things, well, one thing in particular that comes with the watch. These come out, this is just some of the paperwork, warranty information, that sort of thing, but these come out in this really nice Nanook case. You can get a bit of a better look at the logo that's on the case back there. It's a little clearer here on the Nanook case, but this is a waterproof case. Just open it up here. The blue one came in this blue, and the white came in a light gray colored case. So there we have the logo again. Northern Time Standard, it says there. So yeah, I just wanted to show you how these come out if you pick one up. And here it is on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. And even though it's a bigger watch, it wears not too bad at all. I am liking it a lot. I think the only area, and this is a bit of a nitpick, I'd like to see would be a small tweak to the bracelet. There's nothing wrong with it, but maybe something a little bit more custom. That being said, it does suit the overall look of the watch. Cost-wise, these come in at 951 Canadian dollars, which is a little over 705 USD. The Arctic Winter with the fully loomed bezel is a bit more at 971 Canadian, which is just over 720 USD. Link to where you can find these will be below, and I'm not sure how long it's good for, but there's currently a discount code ROCKS to WAVES that'll get you an additional 18% off. Thanks again to Whitby, and if you haven't already, subscribe so you don't miss out on the giveaway, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.